think I look okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you are new to me, new to my show, new to my channel, and you're watching the replay, the recording on YouTube, please do subscribe. You can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the shows coming up. And if you're here live with us on Zoom, welcome, welcome. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring to you these amazing speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their processes, their healings, clearings, activations, etc., so that we can all thrive, so that we can all awaken to happiness now. And so today, my dear friend Siddhii Shah is back with us, and we're going to be learning about how to connect with your animal spirit guides. And so some of what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about who are these animal spirits, the difference between guardian spirits and guest spirits, name chanting technique to activate the energy of a spirit animal to achieve a purpose, picture gazing technique to empower the work that you wish to achieve with a spirit animal. Interesting. And spirit animals that can help with finances, spiritual awakening, and connecting with higher realms, developing clairvoyance, a dragon core to awaken and achieve personal power, protection, prosperity, and wisdom. So there's so much. And so I'm so excited because I don't think we've ever actually done a call like this. We've never had anybody come on the show talking about spirit animals. I mean, we've had animal communication and things like that, but this is slightly different. So I'm excited, as I'm sure you are. And for those of you who may not know Siddhii, she's been with us many times. We love having her on the show. She is India's leading psychic and dragon healing expert. She is a celebrated psychic reader, a dragon healing facilitator, and mentor of over 100 spiritual healing courses. A pioneer of dragon healing in India, she introduced the powerful celestial dragons healing system, helping thousands experience rapid emotional and energetic breakthroughs. With a deep spiritual calling since childhood, Siddhii channels divine guidance from angels, dragons, and goddesses, offering healing that transforms lives. Her expertise spans money healing, fat reduction, relationships, anxiety, insomnia, and more, with fast, effective results. And so I'm excited because this is, again, a new topic we haven't talked about before. And so I'm excited to see what is going to come through. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Siddhii back to the show. Siddhii, welcome.
Thank you so much, and a very big namaste to everyone. We are going to be today talking about so many different kinds of spirit animals, animal spirits. Can we invite them in our life, or they just show up? Can we bring in practical results, or this has to be spiritual always? And how we can merge both of them together and receive beautiful results in every area and aspect of our life. So I'm going to dwell right into it because as we will speak, we will learn and we will have more things come up. We already know that animals are everywhere, and it's not just our surrounding. In our mythology stories, history, and even in many other things that were created, whether it is about Fenrir who took a form. Now, this is one of the gods of Norse mythology who took a form of a wolf, and then everyone was scared of him because he had to achieve something. Or we talk about that Egyptian goddess Sekhmet, who was connected deeply with the energy of lion, goddess Isis with scorpions, or even Medusa, who was connected with the energy of serpents, goddess Konyan, who we must have seen pictures if we have. She rides a dragon, and Lord Vishnu, we see him with Sheshnag, who's said to be the largest serpent, and so many other references. Whether it is about astrological references, and we know that most of our astrological signs are connected with animals, but the reference since the longest time they have been helping the divinity, they've been helping the humankind in bridging the gap in between. So, where does this all start? It is said that it was all void. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. And at one fine point in time, a light sparked up in this void and it started creating many things. From the light came fire, from fire, water, and when fire and water merged, it gave birth to a life. And when the life started shaping up, they came in forms of trees, animals, and so many other inhabitants that were placed onto our planet even before the humankind came in. So when the humans came in, they started taking support. Gods, goddesses, their wisdom, and people like shamans. They started understanding very deeper aspects and connecting with something, a power even more. So let us understand one aspect. When God created all these different animals, different spirits, He had something on His mind. He had roles that He could give them, powers that the godly powers that the animal represented through their very existence. So it could be just one power of the God, like there were spirit beings that represent the God's wisdom or work with the imprint of wisdom, power, protection, while others were given other duties. Some of them carried speed, loyalty, and different kind of power. Some of them hold the space of peace, started holding the space of peace, even now hold that in prosperity, while others were connected as a bridge between our world and mystical worlds. They are said to be the gatekeepers, a bridge between our world and many other realms. So, there's a saying or a quote of Kim Shotola. He said, animals are a window to your soul and a doorway to your spiritual destiny. And that's what I saw when I started the journey of working with different kind of animal spirits. My journey started with dragons, but in no time, I had so many other animal spirits come up. Unicorns, phoenix, wolf, snakes, serpents, and I was surprised as to why can't it be just one. And slowly, when I started studying them, I realized that they had a purpose, and in a certain phase of my life, they could help me achieve something. Either they showed up or I just invoked them. Both of them are possible. So, before I move forward, I would want to just put forward one aspect, one very important one. That is, one sees clearly only with the heart. Anything very essentially could be invisible to the eyes. Just the way we look at animals, we sometimes see their physical aspects, physical forms, but when we connect with their spirit energy, we are connecting with so much more. Things that we see, we love, or we do not. All of them are present in their spiritual energy or physical self. We judge. This is the moment we let go of the judgment. Because spirit animals and guides, they sometimes show up in your life simply when you're meditating or simply they are knocking at your door. So let us begin with a deep breath to understand who they are. When I'm talking about spirit animals, they could be insects, reptiles, birds, mammals, or even mythical creatures that we do not believe ever walked on face of earth, but they exist. Maybe in the heavenly realm or maybe in some universal pattern or imprint. So they do exist. Let me give you an example. Maybe a ladybug could be an animal spirit or a woolly mammoth, a dragon. These are just some names that I'm putting forward as they come on my mind. So, what really matters is how good are we willing to let it get. It is like a large ocean of knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is all around us. It has messages, it has support, and we are only connecting with those messages and support that comes to us in different forms. Sometimes they come in form of a crystal, rocks that we collect, crystals that we love wearing. And yes, they carry a vibration. Sometimes they come in like flowers, like essential oils, or maybe just the flowers that add value in our everyday life. Trees, birds, and even animals. So, in our conscious energy, they are just there, and we need to be aware and awaken the spiritual aspect, or we need to get there and start connecting with them. Both of them are perfectly fine. One of the exercises we can begin doing when we wish to invite them is simply walk in the nature. Start connecting with the nature. There are two kinds of benefits here. One is when we walk in nature and we soak in that vibration, it lifts our vibration up. Uh, the vibration of good amount of oxygen and a lot of trees, they take away our stress. And that's when our spiritual energies come to arise. That's when we start perceiving things, right? So, any one of you would wish to build a greater relationship, a deeper relationship, we can consider that, right? Second is an animal spirit can bear a very special significance for an individual. In what form? It could be some kind of strength, power, or it could simply be an insight that we need to have in this moment. So they are aligned or aligning with the spirit of a person who works with that. So working with animal spirit is kind of a part of our DNA, part of our collective existence and experiences. We all are one in the spiritual realm, and some part of the higher energies is them who come to us. Now, these references we would have seen in many movies. Um, Disney movies, for example, we must have seen a monkey with Aladdin, a fish helping that little mermaid, or maybe Cinderella talking to those mice to spend that time. In movies such as Mulan, um, a phoenix is a guardian spirit or a dragon is a guardian spirit. So on and so forth. In Jungle Book, Mowgli with a bear and a panther. Yeah. So these are references to sometimes animal spirits come into your life. I'm not talking physically. These are also portrayals of some energy coming in, supporting us, helping us, guiding us, nurturing us in many different ways and in their own capacity, in their own energy that they hold for us. So, we're going to be talking about two different kinds of spirit animals. The first kind is guest animals, and that is what we are going to be working with largely because these are the one they come into our life for a limited period of time. They come, I maybe just for a moment to give us an insight in our meditation. They gave us an answer and they disappear because they've done what they've needed to. They've answered what we asked for. Or they can come in for a year or a little phase of life when we need that help, when we need that support. And when we pass that phase, we can invoke other animal spirits or we can just thank them and move forward with our journey. While the connection with the second kind of spirit animal could be very, very different. These are the guardian spirits. Now, these are not the ones we choose to invite or we choose to work with. And even if we choose to work with them, we sometimes realize that they are our guardians because they choose to stay, they choose to guard us. These are the spirit animals who are with us for the lifetime. They choose to protect us, guide us, nurture us, heal us, and from time to time communicate on many different aspects. They also share some kind of resonance or power, or they are there to help you and guide you in this journey so we can move forward with our spiritual journey faster. So they are a lifetime connection. It is said and believed in the learning of Akasha and many different cultures that your guardian spirits are with you even when you cross over and you are in front of a gate making the choices. Okay, and they help you make a choice they do not choose for you, but they help you and see you till the very end. And once you move onward, they will let you go. So they are the guardian spirits who are not only till this point or this life, they see you till your decisive moments. Now, so how do we work with the spirit animals and especially guests? There are two sides to it again. So first is we should make notice of any kind of guests entering our life in any physical form. Now, this could be someone gifted you a unicorn keychain or a unicorn book. Now, that is how the energy of unicorn entered your life. And you just need to make a notice and then observe. Maybe some other day you will see a movie of unicorn and it just flashed, a video just flashed. Sometimes they appear in their physical form in front of you. I remember one of my cousins telling me that he lived very close to, I wouldn't call it a forest, but very close to greenery and nature. And one point in time, a raccoon started coming at his door. And he would just come and peep. He would not do any other mess. This raccoon was a little naughty, so sometimes would just run around, climb on the tree. So this is how they show up. Sometimes they just appear in their physical form. And when this becomes frequent, that means a spirit animal has a message for you. And they are trying to show up in your life in a physical form. And if it is possible, or else meditations. If you're meditating and you start observing a lion entering your meditation, it has a significance. It is coming with a space of courage. It is coming to remind you that you are the power, you are a leader, and you need to own that space. So every time they come up, there is significance around why they are coming up. Sometimes you might end up collecting a little feather on your trail or a sidewalk or little something that signifies that animal. And that is one of the ways they, or some of the ways that they show up. So, couple of more observations you can make. Firstly, where is the spirit animal showing up? If it is when you are in your free time and meditating and it just came up, or you are at your home doing something very specific, or when you're taking down notes for your work. Now, that particular aspect could be connecting with the message that this animal is trying to give you. And second, what is the spirit animal doing at that point in time? What activity they are involved in? Are they flying, sleeping, defending, or they are looking fierce, or they are just peacefully presenting themselves, or they are coming close and snuggling? You only need to notice, and from there, you will be able to collect a lot of data, a lot of information. So, this is one of the ways you can simply invite what has presented or who has presented themselves in your life. And then you can go into the meditative state asking, why did you see this animal? What significance this had? And connect your dots. Now, that is time-taking process, right? But in this, sometimes this happens. What if a spirit animal is bad? Well, in the spiritual realm, there are no bad animal spirits. In our physical realm, we consider some of them to be pests, maybe a mouse, maybe a lizard, but in the spiritual realm, they hold some kind of power, some kind of essence, and some kind of support. So before we move forward, I would want you to take a deep breath and let go of any kind of judgments that we may have against any kind of animals. We may feel lion is very good and hyena is bad. There are no bad spirit animals, and we may be knowing them in multiple different names. We can call them animal totems, power animal, animal familiars, animal something. Today, we are going to be diving in the journey of what if I wanted some kind of practical benefit. What if I invited a certain animal spirit to come into my life and help me resolve something? Yes, that is possible. We need to only understand that this kind of practical benefits can be achieved with this kind of a spirit animal. Let me give you a very quick example. The animal spirits are across and from so many different parts. There are water spirit animals, or there are spirit animals connected with the energy of fire and even air. Now, I'm going to be giving you example of an octopus. Now, octopus has a very powerful regenerative ability, and that is a part of their spiritual powers as well. So, anyone who would wish to recover from health issues faster, regenerate cells faster, can invite the energy of octopus. How do we invite? What do we do? Now, before I tell that, I would want to share one more aspect. People who have done these activities with octopus have seen greater healing and faster healing even with their cancerous cells. So, this is one new opening, right? And very beautiful one. So, I'm going to be giving away two techniques first that we can use. Yes, please.
I just want to put a disclaimer out there. We are talking about energy healing, spiritual healing. We are not medical practitioners, medical professionals. So if you do have any physical, mental, emotional, spiritual issues, please see your medical practitioner professional. Okay, this is just our own experiences, our own observations.
Thank
You
you
have to
so
do
much.
that for
Yes,
YouTube land, you know.
absolutely. No, no, absolutely. And yes, while we are going ahead with all the medication, and we can always take spiritual support. So, spiritual support is not an alternative to medicines, but it works hand in hand to make your well being greater and achieve faster results. So, we will always see it with that light, right? Now, so what all can we do to invite these energies? There are two techniques that I would love to give. First is called name chanting. Sounds very simple, very easy, and it is. I'm assuring you. So, in this call, I'm not going to make this call also very longer because the techniques are very simple, but we are going to be learning about quite a bit of information on which spirit animal can do what for us. All right. So, before we move there, we need to understand the processes. First is name chanting. And even before we begin with that, we need to set our intentions and we need to identify that spirit energy that is going to help us with this, right? So, setting your intention is step one. Step 2 is to do deep breathing. When we have at least 5 deep breaths, we start awakening our or activating our astral body that connects with the divine and that helps us channelize certain kind of energies inside of us. So step number 2 is to do deep breathing, just 5 of them. And then with every inhale, chant the name. Now let's say I need more courage to deliver this call. In that case, I will just have a deep breath and say lion. Lions are the one who fill you with courage, who fill you with confidence, and they give you leadership, right? So I chose lion to help me. By the way, a dragon also could help me here, but today I'm choosing lion. So a deep inhale, I would say lion. Another deep inhale, and I would again say lion. So how many times should we do it? And in what frequency? In one day. In one go, please do not end up counting. This is like drinking water. We know when to stop. At one point in time, you will feel that energy roll in. You will feel satiated in your energy field. And that's when you can stop. You can rest. So, couple of deep breaths and name chanting is going to do a wonderful job. And once you have finished name chanting, you need to state your intention. Either at the very beginning, state your intention, but at the end also state the intention as which quality of lion do I want to be activating inside of me. I don't want fierceness of lion. I don't want to have many other qualities today. I just need courage. So I can make a statement or set an intention that give me the courage and leadership like you have. That's it. Either I'm directly talking to this energy or I'm talking to the universe that I want the courage like that of a lion. Both of them are completely fine. And this entire exercise takes about 2 to 3 minutes. You can do it once in the morning, and that's about it. Once in the morning is going to do beautiful magic in your life. So, this is the way of activating an energy in life. Let's say we never worked with lion, or maybe we never worked with the energy of serpent that holds very deep mystical meaning. It connects with the energy of Kundalini. And for the first time, we are working. So we need to activate that. Name chanting does that for us. If you can visualize this particular being in their majestic spiritual forms, close your eyes and visualize that when you are name chanting. Okay, now let us soak that in and we can try and do this as and when we are committed to this kind of work and welcoming to this energy. Shall I move forward with the second exercise? Right
I was
now,
just going to
this
ask, Siddhii, for everyone who's here now or who's watching later, how many of you have worked with spirit animals in the past? So, whether in your dreams or in your meditations or through oracle cards even, right? How many of you have worked with spirit animals in the past? And which spirit animal have you had a lot of experience with? So, for example, I used to have lots of dreams with snakes. I snakes would always come in my dreams. I also would see them physically in my life, right, which was interesting. But also in my day-to-day life, birds would come in quite frequently. So they would, like when I'm driving, like the whole slew of birds would come across my just in front of my car kind of thing. Or when I'm out walking, whatever, I would always see birds. And dragonflies, for example, what I would always see, and butterflies. So those were the four, I would say, main spirit animals that I have worked with, not intentionally per se, but they have come in to my experience, whether it's through dreams, meditation, or real life. So if you want to type in the chat, for those of you who have had those types of experiences, let us know. So Linda has worked with spirit animals, I'm assuming. So Linda, if you can type in the chat, which spirit animal did you work with, or how do you work with? And another one for me was wolf. I would see wolves, the lone wolf, in my dreams, right? And my meditations, etc. So it was interesting who was coming through and when as well. So but I never called on them to actually work with them, but they would come into my experience. Does that make sense? So they were, so I am also a practicing shaman, so I have those spirit animals as well, right? So Linda says eagles, owls, bear, wolf, elk, and hummingbirds. Oh, I love hummingbirds. I haven't seen one myself in real life, but I'm trying to think in my meditations. And eagles for sure. Yeah, for sure. And owls. Yeah, so many, right? White lioness in meditation. Oh, wonderful. Nice. So Cece said, I went on a shamanic journey with a shaman who said I had a she-wolf with me. Nice. Yeah, and for me, wolves have always been a part of my journey because I guess I'm like a lone wolf, so I'm apart from the pack. So, the wolf that I would see in my meditations would be sitting outside, away from the pack a little bit, and but they're also very good for they help you with getting rid of negative emotional energy as well. Pippa says dragons. Oh yes, for sure, dragons too. Thank you, Pippa. Dragons, birds, many varieties, dragonflies and butterflies and cats. Awesome. Linda, love that explain, relate totally. Yeah, so these spirit animals are with us all the time, but do we consciously work with them? I mean, obviously, when I'm doing shamanic journeys, yes, but in other ways, not so much. So I just wanted to bring that out, Siddhii, just so people could share a little bit
Thank you
about
so
their
much.
experiences with spirit animals as well.
That is such a lovely relation you brought in. Thank you so much. Uh, in fact, I'm inspired to share one of the incidents that just happened last month with me. So, I have a particular place where I work, and there is a window diagonally opposite, and I'm often looking at the window. There was one such time where a little bird would come and start chirping at me. I knew it was talking to me, right? Because it would look at me and it would kind of make some move. And we know that bird as Robin. So I realized it communicated and I answered in my own language, like, hey, how are you? Long time, etc. Okay. And that just kept happening. And I usually share my workspace with my colleagues. There was one day I was working alone. That bird flew inside the window, took a whole circle, and flew back outside to seek attention. Now, these are the moments when they take, when you're alone, they take
Mhm.
that as the point to, I'm trying to tell you something. Look at me, girl, and please do something about this.
I love that. I love that, and I'm surprised that you have robins there, but because obviously we do here as well. But it actually came in to get your attention to say, see me," right? Look at me. I love that, and it's so cute. um, Abby also says a green dragon brought in fairies during a process. Oh, beautiful! Yes, fairies too are, and the elemental kingdom. They work very closely with spirit animals as well, right? Yeah, I
Right.
love that. Awesome. Thank you. And so, of course, just really quickly, so of course, so like if somebody doesn't know Like if they need calmness, for example, and they don't know which spirit animal, that for me, when I think about calmness, I think of a deer, but um how would they I guess they would just think about it, or they can Google it and say which spirit animal has a quality of calmness, I suppose, right?
I can list a couple of them that are coming up on my mind. Swan, very calm. Also, they have the energy of romance and love to them very peculiarly, but swan, yes. Dove is another who hold that kind
Mm.
of energy. Yeah,
For
and
sure.
yeah,
Peace. Yeah.
we can call upon them as well. Yeah. So I'm coming back to the processes, and the first was name chanting. Now let's talk about what more could we do. Activating their energy is one aspect. Now let's connect with it a little deeper, more. And this process can open us to so much more. Maybe they want to communicate with us. Maybe they have some kind of message or energy for us. And this is the moment we can grab to connect with them and receive whatever they have, which is a picture gazing method. Now, wow, what I usually do is on my phone, I have a dragon here. I've stored pictures multiple places. I've picture framed them so that I have physical reference. Or sometimes I close my eyes and visualize them. Now, this is the moment we all need to do is just gaze, observe, look, observe the eyes, colors, feathers, tail, the texture, and them as a whole. And then close the eyes. So, this is the time when we are gazing. Try and not blink and just gaze. A little strain when you have in your eyes, close your eyes and then visualize them with your mind's eye. And at this point in time, we receive a little window, a portal, or an opportunity to just observe, to just listen to what they have to say, what they've got, or simply ask. As to this aspect of yours, I can tell this dragon that today I want your wisdom to come inside of me. Or I can simply put forward one thing, that is, I am in this dilemma. Should I choose this or that? And leave it at that. Conversing with animals could be so beautiful because you don't have to be waiting for their answer. You already know this. Sometimes the answers come in your dreams. Keep a journal next to you, note it down. Sometimes a video will come to you and that has your answer. Yesterday, I received a book, and I'm sure this book holds the answer to a question that I've put forward to one of the spirit animals. And I said, how do I create this in my life? And the book I received is something that I did not expect, but I received 48 laws of power. And maybe that holds the answer. I'm yet to read this. I'm new to this side of understanding power and power that works in business. But yes, that is what I needed, and that came in. And I would want to share also this, how this book came to me. So sometimes my friends gift me something and my address is listed on their Amazon. So this friend was purchasing something for him, ended up mistakenly use my address instead. And this person called me up saying that, hey, you're going to be receiving a book. Please consider it as a gift from my side. And this is what happened. And I said, maybe this book has an answer for me. And that's how it landed up here. So these kind of beautiful things also happen when you begin picture gazing, connecting with them, putting forward your intentions. I'm sure we all have done it in our meditations. I'm just going to be opening up some aspects that we can use. Now, uh, moving straight into which kind of animal spirits can help us with what? We all have seen those beautiful pictures of ladybug one time or the other, right? This is one such energy that can help us find lost items. So when you have that document, you don't remember where you've kept it, or a missing jewelry piece, something that you need to find, one can begin chanting ladybug. That's it, and put forward your intention that I need to be finding this. Either you'll be inspired to look in one particular drawer where it must be existing or kept, or someone will come and find, hey, I found this document for you. And yeah, your work is done. It is as simple. With this, I would want to put forward some more aspects of our animal spirit journey. Sometimes we come across symbols. Now, there are certain quantum symbols given by experts who have worked with this aspect. If you'd like, I will give you a screenshot of this particular symbol if it is not appearing very clearly for you so that you can use it. Here I'm talking about a squirrel, a very beautiful animal we see sometimes in our parks and gardens, hurriedly going somewhere. Now, squirrels, let's look at their energy. They are storing food, they are constantly active, but also hold the space of joy. They have the wisdom of how do they collect for the wisdom and how much will they need. When we are working with budget and we know that we want to be doing something in and within this limit, we can call upon the energy of squirrel. At the same time, our money is stuck somewhere and we want that coming out. We want that return from universe. Our ask should not be limited to, hey, I need this money from the same person. But universe can provide. It is abundant. We can always ask for that money to come back to us. And we can recover it in many spiritual ways. And in this matter also, squirrel helps us big time. People who need more understanding of stock market or where do I invest, let me invest wisely. When it is about wise, as in wisdom and investment, squirrel clubs both of them. So it is a very beautiful spirit animal we can call upon when we are going through these kind of phases. Once that is done, all we need to do is just be grateful and pass over some unconditional deed to someone or something. And that's about it. Now, let me also tell about one more spirit animal that helps us in many, many, many different things. That is a kingfisher. But before I move forward, I would want to talk about that symbol and how we can use it. The symbols are simply to be drawn on your palm or run a print, keep it with you. That's it. You can use it as a poster to energize your water, your food. You can keep it on your work desk or you can store it where you are storing your money, your wallets, your money banks, or other places, so that your energy of saving, your energy of investment multiplies. We are going to be doing such simple amount of work with symbols, with name chanting, with picture gazing, and there are few more other processes. But today we will have these two simpler ones. Now, here's the energy of Kingfisher. People who are going through anxious time, people who want to invite prosperity, good fortune, and people who are going through transformation. Kingfisher is an amazing energy to call upon. They also induce productivity in children who are studying, who feel overburdened, but at the same time, they need to be productive. So either they are procrastinating or they are overburdened. And they also bring in the happiness along with responsibility. Now, this one, the next that I'm going to be talking about, Kingfisher, is tried and tested by so many people that I know. People who feel extremely stuck with monies and they want monies come in within timeline. They do not know whether I'll be able to pay the next rent. EMI is coming up. Oh, I spent this money and I have this come up. And in the matters of urgently needing money, one can call upon the energy of Kingfisher. There's also a switchword that is created for this. That is Kingfisher, Count, Divine. Switchwords are the ones that we use as repeated chanting to bring in the energy of what we are talking about, the purpose. And that is getting quick money. The switchword can be chanted with a certain numbers or for a certain number of minutes. So this kind of switchword you can chant for about 5 minutes. For very urgent needs, about 15 minutes. Right? So this is the energy of a kingfisher for urgent needs in money, for bringing in joy, happiness, and also for helping our children study properly, not getting overburdened, and reduce our anxiety. When it comes to the energy of seeking a higher power who we can surrender to, it could be a spiritual guide, a teacher, a mentor, or having loyalty in a relationship, or building that trust. Now, I'm not meaning only partner relationship. It could be work relationship. The energy of trust and honesty needs to be coming in along with playfulness. At that point in time, we can call upon the energy of a wild horse. They help us bring this up. They have speed. They are very loyal. They are very playful and they also have a sense of freedom. From here, I'm going to be taking you to a very beautiful one, a bat. Now let's look at bats. They have very keen eyes and the mechanism of listening is also very specially designed. So when we are working on upping our clairvoyance or clairaudience, we work with the energy of a bat. Second, they guide us through darkness, whether it is darkness of life or something else. So we want to see through the darkness. That is bat. Remember those Batman movies where he's the only person who knows what's happening in the whole city. He knows where to be, which moment to be, and the whole city does not know what he's doing. They work in dark, but they operate with precision. The energy of right timing is with bats along with these psychic abilities. So, do we need to capture on all their traits? No, we can just focus on this one aspect. I just want to empower my clairvoyance, and that's why I'm working with the energy of bat. It could be as simple. I just want to navigate my life with this phase, which is kind of dark, and I want to see the light and I want to know what needs to be done. And at that point in time, also, we can invite the energy of bats. I would also want to give this forward to you, whether you would want to take a screenshot or you would want us to make it available for you, this will be possible. However, all we need to note down from here is a dragon code, which is 1331989. Now, this is the code that brings in the energy of dragons. And that is so much. That is about upping spiritual game. That is about protection. That is about upping the personal power. That is about defending ourselves against anything that could be malice, gossip, and expanding the charisma, expanding magnetism so that we can magnetize, even if it is a right guru, even if it is that money or a right partner, whatever that could be. And the presence of dragon destroys negativity. All of this in one, apart from one more benefit it gives, is advancing in our career. So, how do we work with this particular code? We can write this code on the left hand's wrist. If we don't want to write it with a pen because people will see it, we can just energetically write it down and cover it for a moment. Cover it, take a couple of deep breaths, set your intention, and start chanting 1331989. Okay, just using this in this moment could power you up. Should we all want to do this together? Right? It's okay if you don't want to use the pen, just with your finger. 1331989 and cover it. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Have a moment to set your intention. And whenever you feel ready, couple of deep breaths. And begin chanting 1331989. 1331989. 1331989. 1331989. Just go on. You know when to stop. When you're chanting, observe the shifts in your breathing, in your energy. Whenever you feel ready, you can have a deep breath, slowly open your eyes, and say a little gratitude in your mind.
Interesting. Thank you. I feel like I'm looking differently. I'm seeing things differently. There's a different quality of seeing. And when you had mentioned, you said something, feel the shift, I think you said. And at that same moment, I heard a knocking. So sometimes I hear a knocking in the wall or knocking in the closet or like just, things like that as confirmation of things when it's just interesting. Thank you.
That is clairaudience for sure. Wow.
Yeah. And Linda says very powerful. Awesome. Yeah, you can definitely feel the energetic. I mean, I'm a feeler, right? So I feel it, and obviously I hear as well. But I feel the shift in my being. And for me, it was like a golden. I sometimes when I'm looking at like when I first opened my eyes, everything looked very golden. If that makes sense.
Yes.
If I
Yes.
also felt the shift, awesome, good. I'm glad. And just know, even if you didn't feel it, just know and acknowledge that there was a shift.
Right. Um, I've used it in the moments, even when I wanted to manifest something. So those moments I will just write it down if I'm on the move when I have some time where I'm just going to be sitting and doing some work. And I manifested those things quickly, some with patience. And yeah, I have those things with me. And this code has worked. I have worked with manifestations. People have also worked with this code to feel that sense of protection, that sense of safety, and they could go through a very difficult phase as well. Right. All right. Have a deep
Awesome.
breath. Thank you. I just would want to give just a couple of more. If we want to be getting rid of any kind of addiction, and now these are quick ones. Okay. Any kind of addiction. Now, this is having coffee as simple as that, or changing certain patterns or habits in life. We can call out to the energy of tarantula. For the sense of calmness, we were talking about that today. A crane can also help for bringing more cheer and joy in life. Butterfly and parrot for moments where we want to be taking important decisions and arriving at that. And we want everything. We want spirituality to come in. We want decision making to come in. Lizard to be able to choose right words for anything. Bee or honeybee, and to induce more care in all our relationships. Penguin for any kind of resolution of conflicts and bringing in the vibe of communication. Dolphins. So I just wanted to quickly give references of some of them. And with this, I wanted to
Awesome. Thank you.
inspire. With this, I wanted to inspire everyone to try some of these out and work with them for as long as you'd like. Now, there could be one more question as to how many spirit animals can I work with and how many purposes. For one purpose, you can work with 3 to 4 spirit animals. So, how do you name chant? Chant for one animal, set your intention, pause for a bit. Some other time of the day, chant for another. That's it. Not more than 3 is enough. Calling out to one spirit animal is powerful in itself. And then frequency in a day, once in a day is more than enough, right? So you can spend some minutes to name chant in the morning and any time of the day, do picture gazing, or once a week, we can just do picture gazing, and that is going to be doing the whole job. Additionally, we can work with symbols, any other codes, switch phrases to just give boost to this kind of work and bring in speed. So,
Awesome. Thank you. So much information and so easy, these techniques are so easy. Of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that you have information and wisdom to share, right?
Yes. So we share lot many more symbols, lot many more animal totems or spirits we get to we introduce in our workshop, and there are more processes. Now these are additional uh, water charging and other charging methods that I teach in my workshop, which is a pre-recorded workshop. So it is structured in a step-by-step format. Like today's call, we discuss the processes first, and then we move into the space of knowing at least 50 plus animal spirits. We will have one special video on wolves and one very special on owl. In our physical realm, the lions are considered to be the kings in many cultures and beliefs. In spiritual realm, wolves are said to be the kings. So, and plus the connection we wanted to give them that special attention. So, this particular workshop is going to be helping us with the processes. We can invite them. What should we do when we achieve something very simple once? And how many intentions? So, with one intention, one animal, you can work with maximum of three intentions. So, all these processes are simplified and shared in this upcoming workshop.
Awesome. So there's like you said, there are 50 different power animals, totems that you work with, and different techniques, as well as the different qualities that they have, and that we can work with to enhance our lives, right? So some we talked about already, right? Prosperity, abundance, and finances, harmonious relationships, um, change, adapting to new environments, life, and changes, because we're all going through a lot of changes. Addictions, we talked about, anxiety, depression, the school focus, physical and emotional healing and well-being, amplifying our business growth and professional success. Protection, we talked a little bit about already, and psychic attacks, strengthening love, marriage, and intimacy, enhancing our intuition, releasing blocks and limiting patterns, which we all sometimes need a little help with, right? Um, and then there's some special bonuses as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about those too?
Oh, I just did. In this special bonuses, we are going to be having very special sections on wolf.
Oh, I see.
I'm
Yes.
going to be giving you multiple switch words and phrases of them, and the owl. So for
Yes,
receiving
got it.
higher wisdom. Yes.
Awesome, thank you. And so this workshop is pre-recorded, and it's only $21. Is there, is it one video, two videos, three videos? How long is that?
Oh, so this is going to be 5 plus videos. I have
Okay.
broken down the workshop so that one can just absorb these processes, have a little pause, and then move into the other one. So this will give each and every one of us enough time to get some knowledge, pause for a bit, and move to the other. However, we always have the option to pause it in between, take our time, make our notes, and that's why this workshop is designed in this particular manner. So there are going to be 5 plus videos, and the whole content is going to be about 4 to 5 hours.
Awesome. And there's some wonderful testimonials from people who have worked with this workshop already, so that you can check those out as well. And this is great, because this is such a wonderful workshop that we can start to implement what we learn right away, and start to work with these power animals and spirit animals in our lives, and create that connection and relationship with them. Which, we all have a team, but we can increase our team, make our team even bigger, and work and find that connection that can help us in our day-to-day life, right? And that's what it's about, right? How can we enhance our lives? How can we increase our intuition? How can we continue on our spiritual path, the ascension path, with more ease, right? So ease and grace. I love it. Thank you, Siddhi. And this is at your own pace, right? So it's you can do it as you wish. You can take as long as you want. You can do it quickly. But I think the most important thing is is the implementation, right? So practice with it and work with it and see how you feel. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about the workshop, Siddhi? Was there anything else that I missed?
I would rather talk about a couple of results. So, the time investment that goes in this is very little, 2 to 3 minutes to 5 to 7 minutes a day. And the kind of results people have achieved are beyond what we can comprehend sometimes, whether it was getting through some kind of paperwork or talking to someone they've stopped talking to and mending those relationships to bringing in loyalty in their marriage. There are so many wonderful things that have already happened. And it's not been very long since I've been giving this workshop out. And I'm amazed with the kind of speed that they bring in. So I would just want to say, whether it is for the workshop or no, whenever we have opened our doors, and so much of us have, just take a step forward and work with more spirit animals to bring in faster results, because we are here to be resolving certain things, going through our karmic journeys in the most graceful manner, so that we can move forward and do so much more for our souls and for our lives. So this was just inspiration to work with them more and more.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And and sometimes we get confused, like, okay, I don't know who to call on. Well, it's not, now there'll be like 50 plus totem animals in this workshop that you can call out to and reach out to and work with and invite into your life, and to assist you in. And it's not just like problems, but it's like, let's say somebody wants to be more intuitive, or let's say somebody wants to connect with their angels and guides, etc. So more communication, or with their higher self, or just like it's not just for problem solving, but it's also for enhancing your journey, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. If anybody has any questions, let us know. I forgot to ask that at the beginning. Usually I ask that, but if you have any questions about what we've talked about the workshop, you have instant access to it once you purchase. Um, so there's no issue with that. But I would recommend just working with it, and working with some of the spirit animals, and they're so simple. And even like the codes that we received today, right? The switch words and the dragon code, very very simple, and you can feel that right away, the effect, the shift in your being. And then it's about just asking. It's like, okay, how can I work with this spirit animal more, right? Or in a different way, or you know, what can I ask the spirit animal, etc. So play with it, right? Be playful with it, and know that it's about communication. It's about a relationship that you're building, right, with the spirit animals, and come from your heart space, right? Not from fear, but just come from your heart space, playful energy, etc. Right? I love it. And like Siddhi said, it only takes 2-3 minutes, sometimes at the most 5-6 minutes a day. So whether that's the beginning of your day, middle of your day, later on in the day, there's no fixed um, routine. Just fit it in, where you can, and see the difference. Okay. Any other last words of wisdom for us, Siddhi?
I've
This is so
already
much fun.
shared that. So, yeah, I've totally enjoyed my journey, and I'm sure you would when you connect with so many different beings. Some part of their wisdom always stays with us and becomes a part of ours too. So, experience, try these out, and make sure you reach out to us and tell how was your experience. You share your experiences with us.
Yes, absolutely. And that's so important what you just shared, Siddhi, is that when you are working with spirit animals, angels, fairies, dragons, whatever being that you're working with, it's so important to acknowledge your experience, acknowledge not necessarily the change, but just even what you felt, because that's going to strengthen your relationship with that spirit animal, right? So it's going to strengthen your relationship, is going to strengthen that bond. And then it's also about, once you acknowledge it with gratitude, of course, then it's like you're building that bridge. So sometimes it starts off with like rough path, and then it becomes, better and better and better. But it, starts with you, right? And the when you can acknowledge the interaction, the communication, the just whatever shift you're feeling in your life, whether it's just energy, um, it's going to make it easier the next time that you uh, interact with that spirit animal, because the connection's been made now. So start, have fun, play with it. You start with something small. Don't start with a big thing in life, but start with something small, and then keep going. It's always about and then keep going. Okay. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Siddhii. This was awesome. Brilliant.
Thank you
I
so
love it.
much.
I look forward to your next call when you're going to teach us even more stuff, because you always teach us so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for participating and playing with
Thank
us
you.
and sharing your stories of your interaction and with spirit animals that you've already had. So thank you for that as well. It makes the whole call so much richer when you can share your own experience as well. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, everyone. I'll have the recording out a little bit later, so please stay tuned for that. Hopefully, yesterday, with a major tech issue, so I finally did send out the recording, but at like midnight, but my time. So this one will be much sooner. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow, though, 3 p.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you then. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye for now. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Siddhii.
Thank you. Thank you for holding this space.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.